Raid Shadow Legend is the game, Amiel is my name. Hello to all of you peeps and welcome back to another video in my YouTube channel. And in this video, I'm going to rank up all 5 Assassin's Creed character in Raid Shadow Legend from the lowest to the highest. I actually opened my Altar of Soul shop and I saw this 6-star Fabian, which is, I believe, really good, and a lot of people will want to get it. I, of course, cannot get it, so I thought to myself I will show you him and the fact that he popped into my shop, but I do not have enough Eternal Soul Essence, so not for me today. So I will rank up all 5 assassins in Raid from the best one to the last one. Of course, I will start from number 5 all the way to number 1. You need to take into account that it's my opinion, okay? And it's only my opinion. And it's not like I am the one who deciding who is best and who is not. You know, just take into account that I basically saying what I'm thinking. It's not like I know all about Raid Shadow Legend. I am totally not. But I am like a veteran player, like play 3 years plus free to play, so I'm kinda end game. My account is quite end game, so maybe my opinion does worth something to you. And also please take into account, please note that I really love PvP. So, you know, I will consider PvP, I believe, more than I consider PvE. Okay, so also at the end of the video, I will say a few words of comparison about this Assassin's Creed collab to the Ninja Turtle collab. I will say, like, in general, what I like, what I dislike, where I believe the Teenage Ninja Turtle is better collab, maybe where the Assassin's Creed is better, we will see. I mean, what's good, what's not good. Just a few words. And I guess I will also say at the end of the video just a tiny few words about the coalition event, the new very juicy and cool coalition event that I know early game player maybe will feel sad and bad because they will not be able to claim bunch of stuff from here. But it's still a few reward, a few free reward. So I will say a few words about it and compare it maybe to the last coalition event that we had with Holy Infusion and stuff like this. I guess all that's left now is to go through my ranking. So number 5 of my Assassin's Creed. So who is the weakest Assassin's Creed of them all? Number 5 coming up. You guessed it. It is Basim Ibn Ashad. Yeah, you guys guessed it right. So I decided to rank Basim as the lowest assassin of them all. Alright, I will say it right now. It's not like I know all about Raid Shadow Legend. I am easily could be wrong, and Basim easily could be actually super good, but at the moment, at the time of this recording, if you were to ask me on which Assassin's Creed you will put your bet, then Basim will be the least one that I will bet on him to be good. It is what it is, okay? I will explain now what I think about the champion and why I think is the weakest of them all, and also the fact that he, at least as my belief, the weakest of them all, does not mean that necessarily is a bad champion. You know, it could be at least good to some degree, but the least good of all 5. So Basim is always attack. He has the same passive of all the assassins, so we will skip that passive. We will not talk about it at the moment. It's basically a passive that gives all assassins a way to deal extra damage if they are already doing a very decent hit. Like if they are doing a 25% hit on an enemy, then they will do another damage extra to that. This passive is similar to all assassins, so there's no need to talk about it. There's nothing to rank here. So Basim in his A1 he will hit 2 times and he will have like a 50% chance to place weekend, of course. So let's say an A1 attack 2 times, single target, put weekend. You know, he can also have a chance to spread 1 buff if he has very perfect veil on himself. So it's an A1 that can do weaken and can also like maybe put weaken on the entire enemy, or maybe if you're lucky, put in a different debuff that is more valuable than weaken on the entire enemy. You know, maybe one enemy had like a decreased defense and you was able to spread the decreased defense. I mean, it's nothing that we haven't seen before, okay? This A1 does not have any bedazzle effect. It's just a regular A1, not bad, but you know, so nothing here. A2 of Isbasim, it's quite, interesting. Like on first glance, you can tell yourself, oh man, this A2 could actually be good, because it's an AoE, it's ignoring defense, so it maybe can hit decent because it will ignore some defense, not high numbers though. And the second part of this A2, it's basically to put black active skill on the enemies, and it's ignoring the block debuff buff. So let's say you are in arena and you're fighting a Galatir, um, Duchess, I guess, Sifi is a big one, and Basim get a turn, and if he could ignore this block debuff and put black active skill on Galatir, on Sifi, on those support, and they cannot do anything, also the defense, also the DPS of course, and they cannot do anything. So on paper, this A2 could be super strong, I mean, you just lock out the entire team. It's basically a lockout, the active skill, similarly. But the problem is that you need accuracy for that. So what is Basim? Does he a debuffer? Does he a nuker? What is he? Because a nuker that also need accuracy on the kit, it's quite hard to do, But in theory, let's say is a multiplier through the roof, and you can build him with high accuracy and he still nuke, then wow, it can be super strong. But I feel like this is asking too much of the champion. I do not believe this is the case in Basim. So this is why I look at this A2 and I say, nah, this is not good enough. Okay, and what else does Basim have? So Basim has A3 of Basim is again coming back to the nuker. And actually, first of all, I will say that this A3 has a grand extra turn. So right off the bat, because it's grand extra turn, I mean, this is a plus for him. And basically it's a nuke, you attack 2 times, you will deal more damage if you have, if you have debuff on yourself, or especially if, yeah, and also if there is a debuff on the enemy. So you basically, it's a nuke, okay? It's a nuke with an extra turn. In principle, if you can kill one champion and then get an extra turn and go for your like A2 and put black active skill, it can work in principle. All of his kit can work, but when I look at it, first of all, it's not something we haven't seen before. Okay, there is a bunch of other champion that can do a one hit single target and get an extra turn. Sometimes, most of the time, it's only if you kill an enemy. Okay, but I don't know what to tell you. I will say one small thing about Perfect Veil, because Perfect Veil is very important for all of assassins. Basically, if an assassin has Perfect Veil on himself, then he becomes stronger. Where's my hoodie? Where's my hoodie? Yeah, the hoodie is the Perfect Veil, and if they're putting the hoodie at themselves, they are becoming stronger. But so yeah, in this ability, you can get also an extra turn plus put a Perfect Veil on himself. So that's cool, but it's not enough, because I believe if we go to the A2, if the A2 would have read, if you have Perfect Veil, this debuff is irresistible, the black active skill is irresistible, then you will not have to put accuracy on him, and you could have built him super high nuker, and and speed, you need speed and stuff, and then that will be better. But because of that, no. The passive of this guy, I don't know, you can, I mean, the passive could be all right, but again, it's not the bedazzle effect for me, so it's not impressing me that much. If he's getting hit, he just put the buff that on himself and he put them on the enemy. I mean, that's nice, and he cannot get polymorph by that. All right, he can still get polymorph from the other ability that he has. I mean, at least give him like a total polymorph ignore. At least make him a immunity to polymorph and every abilities. But no, only on that. Yeah, and he has some more stuff, but So when I rank in Basim, I will be honest, I am ranking Basim number 5 and the weakest of all the Assassin Creed. And if you ask me a ranking between like a 0 to 5, 0 to 10, like a ranking between 0 to 10, I don't know, I can give him a 5, you know, maybe more, maybe 5.5. I can give him. I mean, let just see me wrong, you know, see me like in a few months when Basim is destroying the meta and Amiel will be, oh no, I'm so stupid. I mean, take all of this in a huge grain of salt, okay? I might wrong. I'm just saying what I'm thinking. And to me, Peeps, Basim is looking like the weakest of them all. And if now there will be an event, a guaranteed event, and I could have chosen Assassin's Creed one, I could have chosen a specific one, I would have chosen him the least. So I believe I'm basically telling you that I will put my money where my mouth is. But I am a free to play, so don't count on the money that much. Alright, so let's go straight away to the number 4 of the Assassin's Creed character. Dum da da dum. And peeps, you guessed it right, the number 4, at least in my ranking, is Ezio Auditore. I decided to put him number 4. It's perhaps a hot take, I know. Argue with me, just argue with me in the comments if you'd like, but I will tell you right now really quickly why I believe his only number 4 is not that strong, at least in my belief. I know his kit is kind of a unique one to some degree, and you might argue it can help you, especially early game. But I don't know, maybe that also means that the other Assassin's Creed are really strong. I mean, who knows? So what does Ezio Auditorio has? He has an A1 that can put decreased defense, that's nice. It's 100% chance, and it can be resistant if you have Veil or Perfect Veil. So remember what we talked about in the Basim character. So here that's very good. You do not need to build Ezio with accuracy. You can build him to be fast and nuke. But this is a good A1. This is a nice A1, decent one. The A2 is actually interesting, but because I believe it has too much weaknesses, like in general, it has too much requirement as I see it. Basically, it's good for PvE, alright, because it will be able to put some poison on enemies and kill poison, plus poison sensitivity. It can also instantly detonate the poisons if the enemy has 4 debuff or more. So he is already putting like 3 debuff because it's a poison sensitivity plus 2 poisons. So you only need like 1 extra debuff on the enemy, and it's not only that you put a poison on them, you also instantly detonate the poison and you do damage to them. And also, what's cool about this ability is that if you fighting in the arena and the enemy has stone skin, you put bombs on them and not poison, because basically you cannot put poison on a stone skin enemy. So you know, in that sense, it's actually really juicy and good. But it's a 2-turn bombs, and it has a chance to decrease the bomb duration to 1 turn if all enemy has stone skin, and in that regard it could be very strong. Okay, if you fight a team that all team has stone skin, actually like me, most of my champions have stone skin, most if not all of them, like really close to all of them. So versus me, Ezio can be like a really scary bomb champion, right? But I don't know, it seems like a too hard requirement to do. Make sure that all the enemy will have stone skin. It's too much to ask, at least as I see it, but it's still decent, you know, it's still decent ability. A3 is attack one enemy, and before his attack is steal all buff from the target, and the effect again cannot be resistant if you have perfect veil or veil. Let's just take really quickly. Also in the bomb, you don't need accuracy on his kit at all if you have veil or perfect veil, also in the A2, so that's very good. Coming back to the A3 once more, so it's a, you know, it's attack one enemy, you steal all the buff from the target, and you ignore 45% of the target defense. If you have, actually you just ignore strength, ignore shield, and you ignore bunch of defense. So that could be strong, you know. This does not ignore stone skin. So you cannot start with this. You most likely start with the A2 and put in some bombs on the enemy. I mean, in arena, super honest, in arena, this guy can work. He can be strong. He can work. What is passive? He plays perfect vel on himself for 2 turns at the start of the round. So you need the enemy to not strip you. If the enemy does not strip your perfect vel and you get a turn, you have a perfect vel on yourself passively. That is good. Wherever this champion is about to receive a damage that will exceed 50% of his max HP, he has a chance to reduce the damage to 0. And he also has a chance to counter attack. So he has some survivability mechanic. It's not super reliable. It's only 45%, but it's a mechanic of survivability. So, it's something. And his aura is 19% speed in all battle, which is very good. I mean, it's a decent aura for arena. So when I read his kit like again and again, I honestly feel like Ezio could be good. He has potential. But in my list, at least, Ezio is number 4. I know you can maybe argue Ezio could be number 3 or maybe number 2, but in my list, I decided to put Ezio number 4. He has potential, might work, maybe if you play a team that all 4 are stone skin, let's say you in siege battle, you can just kill all siege enemies, poof, like that with the bombs. All right. But I don't know, in PvP in general, I give him the place number 4. So let's keep going to the number 3. Woo! Which assassin is number 3? Are you ready? Let's go. Okay, so you guys guessed it. Number 3 is Cassandra. I decided to give Cassandra the number 3 in my ranking of Assassin's Creed. And let's go quickly about her kit, and I will tell you why and what I think is good on her and what is bad. So she has the same aura as Ezio, 19% speed in all battle. That's a nice one. She has an A1. Right from the start, when you read her A1, you think to yourself, okay, maybe Cassandra, she has a potential. If you will find the right place for her, she can do wonders, because she will have either a 3-hitter or a 6-hitter. Okay, if she has low HP, she has 6-hitter. That's like really unique. There's almost nobody who can do more than 4 hits, and even that is very, very rare. So 6-hitter, if every hit is stealing turn meter, is decrease the turn meter of the enemy and increase her turn meter. So this A1, if she will hit 6 times, will give her 45% turn meter and will take from the enemy 45% turn meter. Hopefully the enemy will be dead by then, but who knows, maybe the enemy is like a UDK or something, I don't know, or maybe Galatir. Anyway, that could be very good A1. Okay, this A1 is a huge potential. And I already heard one content creator talked about Swift Parry, putting Cassandra with Swift Parry 9-piece, Okay, let's go to the A2 of Cassandra. So A2 is also interesting. It's a single target, so it's not AoE. She will put decrease defense and HP burn. Honestly, this is, I feel like, the weak spot about her kit, because those 2 debuffs are not go hand in hand that well, in arena or something like that. It's kind of a weird one, and it's also only single target and not AoE. But if the hit will be strong enough, like 50% HP of the enemy, she will stun the entire team, the entire enemy team. So that, I believe, is very strong. And what's cool about her and what's good about her is the same as Ezio. You do not need to build her with accuracy, because if she will have a veil or a perfect veil, those buffs, including the stuns, are irresistible. So that is very, very good. She can just do it without any accuracy. But I don't know, the A2, I believe it's quite the weak spot of that champion, but still, this is the ability. The A3, this is what I feel like will be the most strong about her, especially the moment people will start to experiment with her and actually find where she's very strong and what's very good about her. Like in PvE, I believe this can be very, very busted. It's just people need to find out how to use it. Also in PvP that could be okay, but not the high end, because what is this ability is even do? So she will put on herself 3 buff: increase attack, shatter, and decrease speed. As long as she has those 3 buff on herself, she cannot die. She just cannot die no matter what, but she will stay on 1% or no, only on 1 HP. Also, what's good about the ability is that it gives her 50% turn meter and it remove all debuff from her. So it's basically make her ready to do the other's ability. Her passive is basically make it so every time she attack, she gets more attack equal to 50% of the defense of the enemy, and every time when they try to hit her, she gets more defense equal to 50% of the enemy attack. So she's a bit more survivable and a bit more can hit harder. So, but not again, not anything bedazzle. So her kit, it sounds interesting. I guess we need to experiment with her. We will find, hopefully, people will find something very good about her, places that she can work super and juicy good. I gave her number 3 on my list. I think she's all right. I like her. I think she's all right. The A1 is very interesting. The A3 is very interesting. We will see, I guess. So Cassandra, the fusion, I recommend go for, and gave her number 3 of all the assassin. So you guys want to know who is number 2? Are you ready to see number 2? Let's jump straight into it. Ta-da-dam! So the number 2 in my list assassin is Edward Kinway. I decided to give Edward the number 2. And yeah, I think he has some potential. I believe in Edward. I think he's better than Ezio and better than Cassandra. Yes, yes, yes. And I will now explain to you why. So Edward A1 is attack one enemy 3 times. Okay, it's a 3-time hitter. It's also 100% chance to decrease the enemy turn meter by 45. So it's actually the same amount that Cassandra decrease, but Cassandra need to hit 6 times for that to happen. So it's nice. It will decrease the turn meter by more than that, by 75, if the attack is critical. Sorry for the pop-up. But if the attack is critical, which will probably be because you build Edward with 400% crit rate, he will actually decrease the turn meter by 75. That's a lot. And this will be cannot be resistant if he has Veil or Perfect Veil. So similarly to Cassandra, similarly to Ezio, if he has Veil and Perfect Veil, you don't need accuracy. Just build them with damage and he will decrease the enemy turn meter by a lot. This is also very good for the earlier Fire Knight, not hard Fire Knight, but earlier. It's good for any bosses that you can decrease the turn meter of the boss. So it's a good ability. The A2, attack all enemy 2 times, and the first hit steal all buff from all enemies. So it's a strip, but not only a strip, it's a steal of a strip. So it's very good. You can steal all buff from all enemies in arena. That's good. Also, it decreases the turn meter by 20 of all enemies. And again, it cannot be resistance if you have Perfect Veil. Second hit, 100% chance to put sleep debuff on all enemies. Also, this effect will ignore black debuff if the attack is critical. And again, you build Edward 100% crit rate. And what cool is about it, again, if you have Veil or Perfect Veil, you do not need accuracy. So this A2 is similarly to like Odin A2, Hilvi to some degree A2, First of all, it strips the buff from all enemies, then it CC the enemy. In Odin puts stun, Hilvi put freeze, he will put sleep. So sleep is not the strongest ever CC, but it's still a CC. Cool here is not only take away the buff, it take the buff for himself, he steal the buff. So this is, I believe it's good, it's a good ability. I do not think you can argue with that. Okay, it's not the bedazzle effect ability, but it's a good ability for PvE and for PvP. Alright, A3. Attack one enemy before attacking. Place a Perfect Veil on this champion. So with his A3, he put on himself Perfect Veil for 2 turns. It's very good. So he has ability to put on himself Perfect Veil. But that just means that when you play him, you start with the A3. So what the A3 is doing, it's put in Perfect Veil, the attack ignores shield, stone skin, and block damage. very good. It does not ignore unkillable, by the way. Take that into account. You know, Gizmak is good. Leonardo as unkillable. Cernic as unkillable. But it ignores shield, stone skin, bunch of stuff. And if he kills an enemy, it's a block revive. The only thing this ability is missing is a grant an extra turn. That it does not do. But it's a free turn cooldown, and when you finish, he has perfect veil on himself, so the enemy cannot target him. So he has a chance to go to this second ability. I believe it's a good. If this attack hit hard, this attack is all about the multiplier. It's dependent about the multipliers, because if this attack cannot kill the enemy, then it's not good, you know? Hopefully that can kill the enemy. We will take that into account. And the passive. The bonus, okay, so he has the same passive of all assassin, and the second passive, each hit that this champion is doing has a 50% chance of placing 100% ensnare debuff on their target for 2 turns. Whenever this champion kills an enemy, place 100% ensnare debuff on all other enemy for 2 turns and decrease their turn meter by 20. This is good. This is a good CC. Those effects cannot be resisted if the champion has a veil or perfect veil, and he is hitting by 20% more harder on enemies that has ensnare. So the passive of this champion is quite unique. Ensnare is a unique debuff. Let's check really quick what it's doing, even though I kind of know, but really quick. Okay, so this is the ensnare debuff, by the way. Any turn meter increase effect received by the champions with ensnare debuff will be reduced to either 50% or 100%, and Edward reducing the turn meter increase to by 100. So if you have ensnare that Edward put on yourself, you cannot get any increased turn meter. Where is Edward? There it is. Hello Edward, cool. And he's also a pirate, which is also a bonus point if you ask me. So the passive basically make it so you can do more damage if you have ensnare, and you know, a chance to decrease the turn meter and stuff like this. I will say that he needs to have an A3 that is strong enough to kill an enemy full strong stone skin without any ensnare debuff, because at the start of the round, when enemy has stone skin, you cannot put ensnare on them. So this is a very big caveat, and if he will not be able to kill the enemy, this makes him way worse. But yeah, this is Edward. I gave him the number 2 on my list. I think he's cool. If I will have a chance to choose between either Edward or like Basim or Basim, basically, I will choose Edward 100%. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I mean, I might be wrong. Okay, last champion. Let's jump away. You kind of already know because there's only one remain. But let's go to number 1 on my list. Dum-da-da-dum. And yes, the number 1 on my list, you guessed it right, friends, it's Bayek. So I am kind of cheating because Bayek is the only void legendary. And because he's a void, he needs to be the strongest, you know, because voids are usually stronger than the other affinities. So I'm kind of cheating, but I believe he's actually the best, you know, he's actually the strongest of them all. And I will put all my basket on him. I mean, if there will be a chance to get him, guaranteed, like a guaranteed event, I will try hard as I can to get Bayek. I believe he's a meta changer, by the way, for PvP. I feel like he's passive, and we will start by talking about his passive, because I believe this is the most important thing about him, especially for PvP. I mean, basically PvP. I mean, I believe this passive will change the meta all around. Like if you have this champion, it's similarly like you have Stock the Broken, if you know about that old fusion that people used to run him in the bomb team and stuff like this. That's because Stock the Broken passive ignoring block damage. Make it so the damage ignore block damage. So people start using Stock the Broken just for that passive. That's it. All his kit is bad. But because of the passive, yeah, use him because he make it so you can kill with bomb and stuff like this, like Marichka and stuff like this. But so similarly with Bayek, I feel like this passive, this is alone makes your team, I don't know, unkillable or something like that. I don't know, like really unkillable, you know, not the buff unkillable, truly unkillable. Let's read. This champion and their allies cannot receive critical hits from enemies whose accuracy is equal or lower to their own accuracy. So if you have Bayek in your team and you are a champion that has high accuracy than the enemy that tried to hit you, that enemy will never crit you, never do a crit hit. And we know in Raid Shadow Legend, if this is not a crit hit, this is not that strong. I mean, you can call it a strong hit. This is their name actually, but it's not even close to be as strong as a critical hit. So I am imagining people playing Bayek with with what is face? Galatir, with Mithrala, with Duchess, even with Lady Noel, with Hilvi, not Duchess actually, scrap Duchess, Hilvi, Lady Noel, Mithrala, Galatir, all of those champions that has ability and need accuracy, need a lot of accuracy. Also, they have an ability to maybe even up their accuracy. They sometimes have also a lot of resistance, and they can revive, and there's a good support. So I believe if you cannot kill the Galatir, or you cannot kill the Lady Noel, no matter what, she can always still revive until they will win. And also, usually enemy nukers, does not have a lot of accuracy. We already talked about the other Assassin's Creed, and we said that we do not want to build them with higher accuracy because we need to build them with higher damage. Then if they do not have a lot of accuracy, they cannot crit hit, so they cannot do a lot of damage. This is just insane. I think this is insane. I call it right here and now. Bayek will be a meta changer, and if I see him when I think about him in the live arena right now, he will get 100% ban, because if you have Bayek, you cannot kill the enemy. There's only one caveat here. I don't know if this passive still work, if he's dead or not dead. This is we need to check, because some champions, when they're dead, then their passive stop working. Some other champions, it's not the case. They can be dead and their passive still working. So this is another big caveat, because let's say if you kill him, then the passive is gone, then perhaps you just try to kill him. It will not be easy again, because you cannot critical hit him, because we will build him with high accuracy. This guy is busted. We did not even talk about the other part of the kit. I actually thinking to myself, to save all that I can, I need to get him. He will be a meta changer. I'm telling you right now. What also good about himself? Look, A3 is getting increased accuracy to the team. And what does that mean? Increased accuracy mean more accuracy. They cannot crit hit you. He can also give perfect veil to all the team. It's very good. He does not put perfect veil on himself, so this is kind of a point against him, but it's still okay. It's a 4-turn cooldown ability, and it's grant an extra turn, and he give himself increased defense, which increased defense is basically makes it so he's dealing more damage, because this guy damage is based on defense. So it's very good. He's self buff. His A2 is doing decrease accuracy, decrease resistance, and provoke on the enemy. It's very strong. It's very, very strong. He basically, even if the enemy has a lot of accuracy at the start, he will decrease their accuracy. This is very strong. I feel like if you want to kill him, you need Carnage, because Carnage can put irresistible block passive skills. I feel like if you want to kill a team with Bayek, Carnage is the answer. Carnage will put a block passive skill, and that will be the way to kill the team. I feel like, yeah, this is I say it right now. You heard it right now first. I believe this will be the way. Yeah, and also this ability, you can put provoke for 2 turns, right, on enemies if they are under 3 or more debuff. So if you think about Hydra or something like that, could be very, very good. In Hydra, usually the enemy has more than 3 debuff on themselves, and that means you can provoke that annoying head for 2 turns. This guy is busted. Let's talk about his A1 really quickly. Attack 1 enemy, place leech, fill this guy turn meter by 20%. A regular A1, not that strong. So perhaps this guy will not do a tons of damage. This is one caveat. He may be not the damage dealer, but this champion can make sure your entire team can just never get crit on themselves and never die. I gave Bayek the #1 place, the best Assassin Creed, the best assassin in Raid Shadow Legend. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of obvious. He's a Void Legendary, you know, it's kind of given, but I think he's strong. I think he's amazed me. I believe he will break the meta. And in live arena, you will have to ban him, because if you do not ban him, then you cannot crit hit. And if you cannot crit hit, then how the hell are you going to win? How the hell are you going to win if you cannot crit hit? Yeah, peeps. So those was my rating of the 5 Assassin's Creed. Really juicy. And as I said at the start, I will also say like a few words about the collab of the Assassin's Creed in general compared to the Ninja Turtles collab. So I don't know, I like both of them. I mean, I feel like if we look about all the assassin, especially now after we read their kits and we know them more, it seems like they are not like they don't have Unity champion like Leonardo, right? So this is already kind of a sad and kind of annoying. I really hope that we will have like Altair as the main assassin, and he will have like a Unity champion ability like Leonardo, like that. And if you put a team of assassin with Altair or something like that, Altair is the first Assassin Creed game, if you don't know, then that will be very juicy and very cool. Yeah, okay, that does not happen, so that is kind of a minus, I feel like. But still, the Assassin's Creed collab, I really like it. I give it a thumbs up. I feel like it's cool. I feel like it's very, very good. I can say like a few words also about this Creed coalition event. So I will try to do everything in my power to finish it all. Like the last coalition event with Soul Infusion, I did finish it all. It's not easy. I don't think everybody can do it. It's not easy. It requires a lot of attention to details and using energy in places that you do not want to use the energy, so you can get those repeat quests most of the time. This is how it was like on the last coalition event, so take that into account. But I feel like it's cool. I don't know, I like it. It gives us all something to do. It's also rally us all to be together and you know, try and defeat this conquest together as a team, all player of Raid Shadow Legend. I like it. I really like the idea, and it's also like a bunch of free rewards, so it's good. So peeps, I guess I will end this video by going back to the best champion, the #1 assassin, as I see it at least, the Void Legendary Bayek. I am really excited about getting him. I'm telling you, I feel like it will be a meta changer in live arena 100%. His passive is busted. He is also very strong, you know, in places like Chimera, most likely, because he has a lot of debuffs and buff, Hydra, you know, and stuff like this because of the provoke. So we will end by looking at Bayek. Hopefully we can get him. Save your sacred, guys. Save your sacred. I don't know. Thank you so much for watching this video. Tell me everything you want in the comments. I read all and I respond. And peeps, see you in the next one. Bye bye.